Lilith. The Legend of the First Woman. Book 5. By Ada Langworthy Collier. And Lilith oft to paradise returned, for fierce within her, bitter hatred burned, and better, dearer, seemed revenge than aught she else desired. The coppice oft she sought, much hoping direful evil might be wrought upon the love that bloomed in Eden. Wide, oft strayed fair Eve, the little maid, beside, plucking the lotus, or by sedgy moats, from ribbed papyrus broad, frail ferry boats, deft fashioning. Or Adam, watching, smiled, with flowery wreaths engarlanding the child. And laughed the pair, intent on pleasant toil, when blithe the child upheaped her fruity spoil, great globes of red and gold. Or roguish face, over feathery broods, or in the further space, to count the small blue eggs, she sportive bent, and far her restless feet swift glancing went. It chanced one day she watched the careless flight of vagrant butterflies, that circled light, uncertain, high, above a copse rose wreathed, then soft down dropping, gaudy wings they sheathed, beside a darkling pool. The copse anear, with yellow buds was strewn. And softly here, she crept, deeming her little half-shut hand might snare the fairest of that gleaming band. Yet ere she touched it, wide its wings outspread, in flight. And still she, swift pursuing, sped among the groves, till wearied, slept the maid, deep in the midday shadows, lowly laid. Without, stooped Lilith, and with fingers swift, among the leaves she opened a small green rift, that she might see the child. The hedge was wet with starry blooms, where to her hand she set, when she awaked, seeing each dainty frond of fragrant ferns, dusk mirrored in the pond. The child came near the copse, much wondering, from glossy stems the smooth leaves sundering. And stooping over the rift, she saw there, low, against the hedge, a face like drifted snow, and soft eyes, blue as violets show, above the brooks, and hair that downward rolled upon the ground in glittering strands of gold. Mute stood the maid, naught fearing, but amazed. Then nearer drew, and lingering, she gazed in those blue orbs. And smiling as she knelt, the stranger quickly loosed her shining belt of gems. Flawless each stone whose pallid gleam lit silent nooks, or slept by far-off stream, unheeded pale pearls with shimmering light, from distant oceans plucked, blue sapphires bright, and diamonds rose-cold, and burning red, the rubies fine, and yellow topaz shed its sultry glow, jasper, dull onyx white, sardonyx, rare chalcedon, streaked with light. Against her white breast that bright zone she laid, then stretched it, flashing forth, toward the maid, and clasped it round her throat. Alluring strain, she sung, sweet as the pause of summer rain. So soft, so pure her voice, the child it drew, still nearer that green rift, and lo therethrough, she laughing stroked the down-bent golden head, with her soft baby hands. And parting, spread the silken hair about her little face, and kissed the temptress through the green-leaved space. Whereat fell Lilith snatched the babe and fled, crying, as swift from Eden's bounds, she sped, and like a fallen star shone on her breast, the child at last. At last. Thy peaceful rest, ere long will cease. O helpless morn, frail Eve, uncomforted. O hapless mother, grieve, since Lilith far from thee thy babe doth bear. She leaves thy loving arms, thy tender care. Nor canst thou follow anywhere my flight, when far we go athwart the falling night. Ah, little babe, close meshed in yellow hair, thou liest pale. Fear not, thou art so fair, much comfort lives in thee. So ended she, and onward, hostile lands among, passed fleet, blue solitudes afar, till paused her feet, where highest Monghor climbing peaks uprose, a mountain crest. It was the third day's close. In those untrodden ways there was no sound, no sight of living thing, the barren heights around. No hum of insect life, no whirring wing of bird. bare rocks alone, all fissured, blotched and blurred, as with red stain of battlefields unseen. Far, far below, still vales were shining green. And leaping downward swift, a mountain stream crept soft to sleep, where meadow grasses dream. Way-worn, there, the babe upon her knee, Lilith sat down. "O Eve," she said, "on me, the child smiles sweet. Fondle her silken hair, if now thou canst, or clasp her small hands fair. Thou'st my paradise. Lo, thine eye bear, afar from thee. See, then, its transient woe, thy baby now forgets, and sweet and low, it babbles on my knee. In sooth, not long, endure her griefs, and through my crooning song, she kisses me, recalling not the place, whence she has come. Nay, nor her mother's face. Long time stayed Lilith in that land. More calm, each day she grew, for soft, like healing balm, the child's pure love fell on her sin-sick soul. Now oft among the crags, fleet-footed, stole the maid, or lightly crossed the fertile plain, and blithesome sang among the growing grain, that brake in billowy waves about her feet. But when the wheat full ripened was, and sweet, she plucked and ate. Thereat a shadowy pain, a sense of sorrow, stirred that childish brain, she wist not why. For it did surely seem, before her waking thought, with pallid gleam, of other days, dim pictures past, of wood and stream, beyond these mountain rims. And stood, it seemed, midway a garden wide, a tree that bright, like silver gleamed, and broad boughs light, uplifted. Like ripened wheat the fruit thereon, when lo the westering sun upon it shone. Then slow the maid did turn, and silent stand, at Lilith's side. And over that mountain land, down looking, mused. Or lifted pensive eyes, and gaze that questioned if in any wise, she might perceive the land she is longing sought, but of its stream, or garden, saw she naught. Thereat Lilith with white lips drew more near, and clasped in her lithe arms the child so dear. And once again fled swift, a shadowy shape, across green fields. And heard, through silence, break, a voice she could not hush, that loudly wailed, "My babe! Give me my babe!" And Lilith paled, and listening, heard, borne ever on the wind, the tread of feet fast following behind. Then westward turned, where once among new ways, with Eblis she had trod in other days, when far they wandered. Thitherward she bent, her timid steps, the babe upon her breast, until with travel worn her noontide rest, she took. And now a land of alien blooms, about them lay, out wafting strange perfumes. And quaint defiles, that sloped behind a bay, and level fields, and curly vines that lay, thick clustered over with unripe fruit, and bent, above them fragrant limes and spicy scent, of citron and of myrtle all the place, made sweet, and mid the trees, an open space, they saw. Not far away a broad lagoon, burned like a topaz 'neath a crescent moon, for day was parting. Eventide apace, drew on and chill the night dews filled the place. Upon the waters dusky shadows clung, and ashen grey the broad leaves drooping hung, low 'mong the marish buds lay one that made, against the sudden dusk a duskier shade, despairing arms up flinging to the sky, smiting the silence with unheeded cry, "O mother, childless, wife of all bereft! Alas, my babe, not even thou art left, to comfort me, in these last hopeless days, shut out from paradise. Through unknown ways, I sought thee sorrowing. Oh, once again, my Adam, come. Is not this gnawing pain, of punishment enow, that thou unkind, art grown? Ah, never more shall I thee find. Alas, I ever was but weak. Alone, I cannot live. Come but again, mine own. No longer leave me mourning, desolate. In tears I call thee. Oh, in tears I wait, thy sweet, forgiving kiss." Ended she so, her plaint. and 'mong the glistening leaves hid low, Lilith yet fiercer clasped the child, when that lorn mother, tear-stained, weeping, wild, poured forth her woe. As one that wakes to life, from peaceful dreams, leaps quick amid the strife of morning hours, so now the maid to pass, from Lilith's arms strove hard, and loosed her clasp, and turned her shadowed face with plaintive moan, and fond beseeching eyes, where lay her mother lone. But Lilith hardening, seized the child again, and from her ears shut out the mother's pain, with wilful hands. So passed she quick away. Across the dusky path, low fallen, lay, pale Eve, till clear she saw the dawn's pure ray, and as she looked, the voice of one she heard, anigh. Her heart to sudden joy was stirred. "Rise up, mine own," he said, "no more apart, we walk." Then she arose, and cried, "Dear heart, close hold me. So, methinks, I dreamed we were parted long time." So went the exiled pair, from home thrust out, together, everywhere. And oft they journeyed on with sufferings spent, to distant lands. And oft with labor bent, recalled the olden home, with brimming eyes, hemmed in by mountains blue, lost paradise. Meanwhile, to her own realm Lilith long since was come, glad greeting Eblis. "O my prince, I have most bravely done. Our foes full sore are smitten now. My guerdon over and over, thou wilt bestow, I ween, in kisses warm, as my own Southland's breath. For I great harm have wrought that hated pair. With feeble moan, lies Eve in a far land, thrust out, alone, deserted. And whence angered Adam flies, I know not. Nay, nor what new world his eyes behold. Nor even if he live. But see, sleeps on my breast the babe, Eve's babe. And she shall know no more its tender, sweet caress, soft medicining woe. The wilderness, uncheered by love, is hers. And by the sea, peaceful abode, long time content, the three, save that the child unmurmuring drooped. Then oft above her Lilith, singing, stooped, striving to wake the baby smiles again, about her wee, warm mouth. Vain wiles, and vain, her loving skill. All still she lay, and pale, as one at sea pines for a lonely vale, besprent with cuckoo flowers, the faint wild breath of cradled buds, among the cloven elms, and saith, "I shall not see that place beyond the seas, nor any more pluck red anemones, in windless nooks." So seemed the child, and frail, as one that weeps above dead joys. Then pale grew Lilith as those wasting lips she pressed, and kissed the filmy eyes, and kissing, blessed the child. But Eblis touched the hand so worn, the faded, wasted face. "Happy, thou mother lorn," unseeing her, he said. "This fragile thing, today lies on thy breast. Tomorrow's wing hath brushed it from thy sight." Low Lilith sighed, "My Eblis, is this death?" And louder cried, "But thou art wise, and sure some hidden way from this sore hap canst find. O Eblis, say, hast thou no spell whereby the child may live? O love, my realm thy recompense I give, if she be healed." "Nay, not archangel's craft stays fleeting life, or turns death's nimble shaft," he said. "Yet if," she mused, "I laid again the child in young Eve's arms, like summer rain, the mother's love may yet restore again this shriveled life. And yet, must I resign the babe? Alas, my little one! Nay, mine, no more." Weeping she ceased. But after, bore the child far northward, the exiled pair over many lands long seeking, till from a crest of barren hills Lilith looked down. At rest, the twain she saw, for it was eventide. And lo, they spoke of hidden snares beside their unknown path, since unaware fared they into this hostile spot. The dim wolds lay all bare beneath chill stars. And far away were belts of pine, and dingy ocean shore, like wrinkled lip. Cold was the land, and hoar with wintry rime. Nearby, its leafless boughs, a thorn bush bent, with withered berries red. At sight thereof Adam, rejoicing, said, My Eve, bide here. From yonder friendly tree, the ripe fruit I will pluck and bring to thee. Oh, leave me not. This solitude I fear, the land about is chill, she said, and drear, it seems to me. But Adam answered, Nay. Sore famished art thou, and not far away, it is, nor long I stay. So parted he. Not long alone was Eve. Up started she, dismayed. A woman, most exceeding fair, beside her stood, with coils of yellow hair, and blue eyes, calm as sleep among the hills, dim lakes. Eve, frighted, shrank. As mountain rills, sweet fell the stranger's words. My sister, one, is here that glad salutes thee. And since done, is now my quest, and here my journey ends, I bring a goodly gift. For elsewhere wends my pathway, Eve. Beside a coppice green, brighter than gold, purer than silver sheen, in a fair garden, once a jewel shone. With it, compared in all the world, no stone. And lo, the master set it shining clear, against the hedge, saying, When she draws near, she will perceive on whom I do bestow this moteless gem, that fellow doth not know. Now I without the copse that day was hid. Soft shone the jewel, as the moon amid the blue. And in the garden, I saw thee, where in the midst stood a fair wheaten tree, as emerald, green. Its ears, as rubies red, fragrant as breath of musk, its odor spread. And white its shining grains as rifted snow. I looked again. And in thy fair hand, lo, full ripe, bright gleamed the yellow wheaten grain. Thou saidst, though I did eat, I live. No pain hath marred this pleasant feast. Then I the more desired thy gem. All things most goodly pour on Eve their gifts. But I am famished lone, I said. And still against the hedge the stone rayed like a frozen tear the pure night shed, the which with trembling hand I seized and fled afar. But now upon my soul weighs sore a dream. A voice called loud, straightway restore to Eve that which is hers, lest I, that bright, set it against the hedge, will quench its light. Yea, I will crumble it and quickly smite it into dust e'en from thy hand. Mine eyes, I careless closed. But yesternight arise. The stern voice cried. Stay not at all. For lo, I wait not. Lest I scourge thee sorely, go. Ah Eve, though long upon my heart I wore this jewel rare, behold, I now restore thine own. Then Eve cried loud, ere my heart break, give me my babe. Where is she, for whose sake I sorrowed all these years, the little maid? She said, through tender sobs. And Lilith laid apart upon her breast her garment, dyed in blended hues. And stooping at Eve's side, gave back the child. As one that ending quest, most perilous, safe harbor sees at rest, among green hills, and enters glad therein, so Lilith was. So passed she once again, into her land. But Eve, like rain, long pent, upon the child poured swiftly down, sweet kisses. And again, twixt laugh and frown, divided, smoothed the baby face, and through her fingers soft the silken hair she drew, and kissed again. And with a vague surprise, recalled the stranger's smile, the mournful eyes, much marveling whence she fared. And said, as pale, she seemed as bramble blooms in Eden's vale. When homeward Adam came, the child she set upon his knee, saying, ere while I met an angel. So, to me she seemed, as there she stood. So tall, so yellow-haired, so fair, and lo, she brought again the babe. Therewith, she ended low. Doubtless an angel, love, sith, so you deem her, he replied. And mused on all Eve told. And watching, saw a shadow fall upon the child. And later, did recall those words, sad pondering, so fair, so tall. But nothing uttered. In that land long time, they lingered. And the child slow faded, till, one day Eve frighted cried, See, Adam, still, she lies. Ah, little one, unseal those eyes. Rouse but a while, ere waning daylight flies. For she discerned not yet its doom, nor knew the hour was near. But Adam, parting, drew beneath the thorn, lest he might see the child. And all the lone hours through Eve, babbling, smiled adown, and blew her warm breath over the cheeks, so wan. The night grows cold, she said. Sleep creeps, dull on my babe. The night grows cold and chill, she said. Nor dreamed beneath those lids closed still, the death film hung. A wind uprose and swept among the dry leaves heaped, where lowly slept the child. Cold grew the night and colder, till, against the east the dawn glowed daffodil, above dun wolds white with new fallen snow. So rose the day, and widened into morning glow, with rosy tints overstreaked, and faintly blurred, with flecks of cloud. Still lay the child, nor stirred. Dumb Eve looked down, nor knew death's pallid mask, and strove to wake the maid. In vain. Her task was done. And as she gazed, a gentle grasp soft loosed the dead from that cold mother's clasp, and Lilith laid the babe in its chill bed, straightened the limbs, and kissed the little head. And over the sleeper, kneeling, she did lean. Forth from her breast she drew, close folded, green, a sheath of leaves, bright shining, lustrous wet, with tears, that in those waxen hands she set. Then those shut leaves opened slow. And low and frail, bloomed mid the tintless snows a snowdrop pale. Soft Lilith said, For this pale sleeper's sake, O Eve, one kiss bestow. E'en thou canst take pity on me. For thee new, happy days await, but I am forever desolate. For thee fresh love will bloom above this mold, for thee, in coming years, pure lips unfold, but I no more, shall feel the warm breath against my breast. Nay, nor the baby arm, soft clasping me. Nor see the feet that pass, like falling music, through the waving grass. Therefore, one pardoning kiss give ever I go, to my own land, beyond this realm of snow. And Eve, uprising, took the hand she gave, and weeping, kissed, and parted by that grave. Stood Adam, after time, by that small mound. Lo, at their feet a sheaf of leaves Eve found, wherein white flowers shone. Oh, like, she said, to this was one a bloom within the bed, where lies the child. And fair, oh, passing fair, she was, and tall, with yellow gleaming hair. And cheeks soft flushed as fresh pomegranate bells, and dewy eyes, like violets in the dells, who came. So, silent past that stranger fair, who loved our babe. And ever I well was where she vanished. Other whiles, of alien race, she was, Eve said. A princess, with a face, surpassing fair, who trod the pathway bright, among the mists, beyond the rim of night, to her own land. And oft in aftertime, when Cain had lain in her young arms, and chime of voices round her came, and clasp of hands, and thick with baby faces bloomed the lands, Eve silent sat, remembering that one child, among the snowdrops, in a northern wild. And Lilith dwelt again in her own land, with Eblis still strayed far. And hand in hand, they talked, the while her phantom brood in glee, laughed overhead. Then looking on the sea, low-voiced, she sang. So sweet the idle song, she said, from paradise, forgotten long, it comes. An elfin echo that doth rise, upward from summer seas to bending skies. In coming days, from any earthly shore, it shall not fail. And sweet forevermore, shall make my memory. That witching strain, pale Lilith's love shall lightly breathe again. And Lilith's bitter loss and olden pain, over every cradle wake that sweet refrain. My memory still shall bloom. It cannot die, while rings earth's cradle song, sweet lullaby. Slow passed dim cycles by, and in the earth, strange peoples swarmed, new nations sprang to birth. Then first 'mong tented tribes men shuddering spake, dread tales of one that moved, an unseen shape, 'mong chilling mists and snow. A spirit swift, that dwelt in lands beyond day's purple rift. Phantom of presage ill to babes unborn, whose fast-sealed eyes open not to earthly morn. We heard, they cried, the elf babes shrilly scream, and loud the siren's song, when lightnings gleam. Then they that by low beds all night did wake, prayed for the day, and feared to see it break. When over the icy fjords cold rise white peaks, and fierce wild storms blot out the frozen creeks, the Finnish mother to her breast more near, draws her dear babe, clasps it in her wild fear, still closer to her heart. And over, through her weird song fall echoes from that lore, that lived when time was young, ever yet the rhyme of years lay on his brow. In that far prime, nature and man, couched 'neath God's earliest sky, heard clear-voiced spheres chant earth's first lullaby. Now, in the blast loud sings the Finn, and long, nor knows that faint through her wild cradle song, yet sweetly thrills the vanished elf babe's cry, nor dreams, as low she croons her lullaby, still breathes through that sweet, lingering refrain, Lilith the childless, and to life again, to love, she wakes. The soft strain clearer rings, as through the gathering storm that mother sings. Pile the strong faggot, pale Lilith comes. Wild through the murky air goblin voices shout. Hark! Hearest thou not their lusty rout? Lilith comes. Listen, my babe. See how the dusk pines tremble and crouch. Over wide wastes borne, white are the snow wreaths blown, and loud the drear icy fjords shudder and moan. Lilith comes. Listen, my babe. Ah! Hear the wild din, fierce over the linn, the seagull, affrighted, soars seaward away, and dark on the shores falls the wind-driven spray. Lilith comes. Listen, my babe. The shuddering ice shivers. It cracks. Like a wild beast in pain, it cries to the rack of the storm cloud overhead. The sea answers back, dread Lilith comes. Listen, my babe. Near draws the wraith fair, dull gleams her hair. Ah, strong one, so cruel, fierce breath of the north, the torches of heaven are lighting thee forth. Fell Lilith comes. Listen, my babe. Cold spirit of snow, ah, I fear thee. The sports of my hunter, the white fox, the bear, the spoils of our rivers are thine. Ah, then spare, dread Lilith, spare, the babe at my breast. Mercy, weird Lilith. Even sleeping, my babe lies so chill. See, the reindeer I give. Ah, lift thy dark wings, that my darling may live. Pale Lilith comes. Listen, my babe. Once, in the Northland, pale crocus grew, by half-wakened stream. It lay shriveled and low, ere the springtime had come, in soft shroud of snow. Sad Lilith comes. Listen, my babe. Foul vampire, drain not, from my loved one, the life-current red. O demon, art breaking my heart while I plead. Ah, babe. Art thou waking? Lilith, I live. Closer, my babe. Far over the dun wold, baby, behold, mid the mist and the snow, fast, fast, and more fast, in the teeth of the blast, flies Lilith at last. Pale Lilith flies. Nearer, my babe. By Ganges still the Indian mother weaves, above her babe her mat of plantain leaves, and laughing, plats. Or pausing, sweet and low, her voice blends with the river's drowsy flow, the while she fitful sings that old, old strain, forgetting that the love, the deathless pain, of wandering Lilith lives and throbs again, when falls the tricksy elf babe's mocking cry, faintly across her crooning lullaby. Ah, happy babe, that here may sleep, where the blue river winds along, and sweet the trysting bulbuls keep, the night overbrimmed with pulsing song. Not so, mine own, as legends tell, in lands remote, beyond the day, the soulless babes of Lilith dwell, or vanish 'mong the cold mists grey. Or oft in elfin glee they ride, over burning deserts blown adrift, or singing idly, idly glide, afar beyond night's purple rift. But thou, my babe, for thee shall grow, the lilies, nodding by the stream, for thee, the poppy's sleepy glow, for thee, the jonquil's pallid gleam. My baby, sleep. Against the sky, the pipple lifts its trembling crest. O baby, hush each wailing cry, close to the holy river's breast. Not here shall come that pale wraith fair, who, wandering once in northern lands, wore over long reaches sere and bare, the death flower white, for baby hands. Fear not, mine own, the elf babes shrill, nor Lilith tall, with brow of snow. They may not haunt thy slumbers still, where Ganges' sacred waters flow, where coral reefs gnaw with white cruel teeth, the yellow surf, and the torn billows seethe, when shines the southern cross over placid isles, the African mother sits, and singing, smiles, unheeding that a dead world's hidden pain, beats wildly rhythmic through her pure refrain, and lingers softly still an echoed sigh, low in earth's cradle song, sweet lullaby. A warning song of doom, a song of woe, of terror wild, she sings, down bending low, the while bright gleams the starry cross above, yet tells to her no tale of tender love, of him who lifteth after time a cross, that healeth all the wide world's sin and loss. Ah, linger no longer 'mong blooms of the mangoes, nor pluck the bright shells by the low sighing sea, swift, swift, through the groves of the palms and acacias, comes Lilith, the childless one, seeking for thee. She will bind thee so fast in her yellow gold hair. Ah, hasten, my children, of Lilith beware. Cold, cold are her cheeks as the spray of the wild sea, red, red are her lips as the pomegranates bloom, cold, cold are the kisses the phantom will give thee, ah, cruel her kisses, that smell of the tomb. Hist, hist. Tease the sorceress with yellow gold hair, oh. Lullaby, baby, of Lilith beware. She flies to the jungle, with false tales beguiling, ah, hearest thou her elfin babes scream overhead. Close, close in her strong arms she bears my babe, smiling, she hath sucked the soft bloom from the lips of my dead. Now far speeds the vampire, with yellow gold hair, oh. Lullaby, baby, of Lilith beware. Art frighted, my baby? Nay, then, thy mother, low singing enfolds thee all safe from the snare, afar flit the elf babes mid grey, misty shadows, afar flees the temptress with yellow gold hair. Ah, heed not her songs in the still slumberous air, oh. Lullaby, baby, of Lilith beware. When hawthorn trees sift thick their rifted snow, the English mother over her babe sings low, where red the cross burns on the ivied fane, unwitting, pagan Lilith lives again, and softer sings, nor feels the wailing pain, still faintly surging through that low refrain, nor dreams she hears love's early cradle cry, slow echoing through earth's song, sweet lullaby, and in the shadow of that cross, her strain, breathes sweetly, love and hope and ended pain. Softly while that small arm closely clings, about her heart, that mother peaceful sings, O babe, my babe, the light doth fade. My baby, sleep, while I do keep close watch, where thou art lowly laid. Sweet dreams shall steep thy slumber deep. Ah, little feet, be still at last, rest all the night, for day is past. One watches thee from yon blue sky, one watching here sings lullaby, lullaby, sings lullaby. Here on his bed the sunny head lies still, and soft the brown eyes close. Sweet steals the breath, twixt lips as red, as dewy fresh, as newborn rose. O little lips, be hushed at last. Fear naught, sweetheart, though day be past. One looks adown from yon far sky, one close beside, sings lullaby, lullaby, sings lullaby. Thanks for watching the channel. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Or if you would like to support the channel, please visit the link in the description to visit our Patreon page. Like the pictures in the video. Visit the link in the description to see more. Thanks again for watching.